trade Brock, but no other moves other than the Cholowski. Once you traded Brock, was there a consideration to sort of do a full retool? I know you hate the word rebuild. You don't like that, but was there that consideration if he was gone to do more?
Well, first of all, the word rebuild, that's something that's brand new over the last several years. Mm-hmm. And if the definition of rebuild is completely break down and go forward, that's a good 10 years.
Right.
So what you try and do, and I use a different word, is, it's like maybe retool, not that that's a good word, but try and go in such a way that you don't lose the competitiveness and the opportunity to win today, but get it towards the best possible you can. But as far as depleting something, that's not something that works.
Is retool an accurate phrase for what you guys are now doing? Or?
You can define it any way you want, the word retool, you know what I'm saying? I only use that expression, so I can't say whether that's a good word. I can't find maybe the best word for it, but we know we have to do more than what just transpired. That we feel very strongly on that. And I want to answer the Brock Nelson situation first. We would have liked to have kept Brock. I won't apologize for that. You do not, have a center iceman like that and just lose a player like that. It's hard to replace. But we made an offer that we felt was fair and for the length of terms that we felt was good for him and what he can bring to the team, and it wasn't enough. And so that's when you make that decision that it's best for the organization. Now see what can and can't be done. And we had somewhat of an indication, and we had to get back a top prospect. Any of the teams that we talked to, it had to be their top prospect. And I feel very fortunate for the organization that we were able to get the quality player who plays that position and, is able to basically come right into the lineup. And the reason that he only played X number of games this year was they wanted to save the year of his contract at an entry level, because you can only play up to 9. You play 10, you lose a year, which we did with Dobson, if you recall, for different reasons. So we're delighted with the results, but we happy with Brock Nelson in the lineup, with every transition we might be going through and will be going through to get younger, okay? And that's where we're at. I really don't get into anything other than, Brock wanted to stay. And, I think that Shannon did a great job of post-game, I saw it, of seeing really where his heart was. Mm-hmm. But this is still a business. When you look at different things, sometimes it comes down to a business, and that was a decision, and we respect it, understand it, and we have to do what is best for the organization, and that's what I feel we did.
I just wanted to be clear, but I'm sorry. Earlier you'd said, or I thought I heard you say, we needed to do more, we wanted to do more. It was a seller's market. Was there a lot out there to get?
If we could have gotten younger and better, other than draft picks, mm-hmm. we would have done it without question.
Yeah.
But we felt that where a few of our players are, when I say a few, several of our players that we could have made moves with, they would be better done at a different time, where what we need to sort of infuse in a lineup, those players would be available. That's a decision we made. And along the way, we tried also to look at this season. Mm-hmm. We're 4 points out, not to give up in any way whatsoever on the guys in that room, without hurting what the mission was to go into the trade deadline. And it ended up the way it was. But I can assure you that if there were other players, and not of the caliber that we got, but close to that, there would have been a lot more moves.
What we had heard, or through our reporting, was that you're working on an extension with Kyle Palmieri. Is the expectation you'll get that done?
We're talking to Kyle. We'd like to keep Kyle, but once again, under our terms, as far as similar to a Brock, because a player like that, with the young players that will be infused in this lineup, and you still have to have players that can play, and he brings a certain element, but it might not happen. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see.
Was Scott, just because he's here, was he involved at all in yesterday or any decisions that happened or didn't happen?
I'd like to, maybe it's a good question to put something to rest. I've been in this business a long time, and I have always had a boss. I've never done anything without working with him and talking to him, whether it be John McMullen or George Steinbrenner, to just use names. And anybody out there who thinks that anybody in my position just works in autonomy, there is no person in my position in any of the 4 professional sports that does that. So why and where this all comes from, I don't know. But I think I put that to bed. How about it, Butch?
Sounds good to me.
Hey, just injury-wise, are you expecting Hogberg back very soon? And is there any chance Semyon Varlamov is a consideration for the rest of this season?
I think that Varlamov is going to be difficult for the rest of the season, but Hogberg should be available day to day.
You mentioned Shannon's emotional injury with Brock Nelson, and a lot of guys have spent their whole careers with the Islanders. It's a really special culture. What makes it so tough for guys to leave and makes guys so inclined to stay for so long?
Yeah, you'd have to talk to them. I can't answer that. They were here before me, but I can assure you that when it comes down to making decisions, it's going to make the team better. There's no sentiment involved, or there's no loyalty as far as when it comes to the business aspect of it, and vice versa. So that's why there's no hard feelings when a player leaves. You wish him the best, but you have to make those decisions the best for you and your family, and then we have to make whatever decisions are best for the franchise.
What with Callum Ritchie? He's finishing up his junior season. What's the plan after that?
Well, first of all, he will, we'll certainly bring him in, and we'll have him practice. Hopefully, he goes through the whole Memorial Cup run, and so he's playing as long as he can. But we will not burn the year on him. He will not, play and won't be able to play in the American League as well.
So development camp and then training camp. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
When you talk about kind of getting younger and things like that, I know you're not going to make moves just for the sake of making moves, but when you look ahead into the summer, is there sort of a feeling that there could be more change than maybe there has been here in recent years?
There will be change this summer. Until there's change, you can't say how much, but I can assure you there'll be change.
Your belief in the team has always been so high. What can you share about the vision for the next few years?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Your belief in the team has always been so high. What drives from that, and just your vision for the next few years?
Well, right now I'm just focused on today and the game tonight, and I'm trying to answer because I haven't spoken to anybody, after the trade deadline. But whatever we've got in mind, that's a process always going. But the focus right now is, we're 4 points out, and this game tonight is very important, and that's the way our coaches are feeling. That's the way our players are feeling. Now that day has passed, this is season.
I know it's just one game. You're looking at a bigger picture, but that loss to the Rangers, I think, what was that on Monday? Your belief in this team, how does a game like that maybe not make you waver going into the trade deadline?
Well, everything weighs and as far as on you, as far as whatever decisions you do make. I've always said that your players, your team, where they stand when it comes close to the trade deadline, determines what you do and what you don't do and how far you go. And that stayed the same. And we knew where we were at, and whatever we did do, certainly the position we were in dictated that. If you're in a different position, you might go out and pay a tremendous price to do something. If you were in a worse position than we're in, you might do something completely drastic. And I say that only as a phrase, not saying you would do it. But what I'm trying to give you is the difference. And where we're at right now is that it was best for what we could have gotten, and as far as making any further transactions would have not been what we need to do this summer. It's the best way I can answer that.
I guess just without Brock Nelson, you still have a strong belief this team can be a playoff contender.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
The challenges of injuries this year, how have you seen this team be so resilient?
Well, I think that's a tremendous credit to the coaching staff and the players themselves. Injuries are part of, everybody's season. You can't dwell on them. Can't feel sorry for them, yourself or anybody else. You just have to, hope that the players who get a better opportunity rise to the occasion and do what they're capable of doing. But what I said to everyone back in Vegas, I felt then and I feel today. Yes, it's tough going through some of the injuries that we went through. Arguably, your best player misses just about the whole year. But right now, we just have to just pull our bootstraps up and just go to work and, play together. And I can tell you this, the most talented teams don't always win. But the best teams do.
Is there still a hope that Matt will be back by the end of the regular season?
We hope, but I couldn't answer that. Where the rehab will take us. We're not going to push it. We're not going to rush it. We're not going to chance anything. He will be 100% completely healthy if he is to return.